comedians for you this evening. This first guy is going to talk about his penis a lot. The rest of it will not be about penises. Maybe. We'll see what happens. It's an adventure. All right. Put your hands together for your next comedian. Give it up for Sean Hayes.
I love my penis.
Yeah. We all do.
I love your penis, your penis. Yes, my name is Sean. I'm a homosexual. I came out 36 years ago. I'm a Gen Xer, and yeah, so I've been out 150 years in gay years. Which is really great because my friends were just talking about when they read Twilight, and it was really fun when they said that they read it in middle school. So it's really appropriate that me as a 55-year-old man, and I'm about to go home and watch it again. Yeah, I fucking love Twilight. I'm that gay. Yes, our wedding was Twilight themed.
Oh yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah. My sister-in-law was like, you have to come up with a theme. She's a little bit psycho. She had a list, and I'm like, we'll just go with Twilight. Let's do that. We're going to make half of the crowd shirtless for Jacob, and the other half will sparkle. It'll be great. Yeah, which would have been nice, because it was like January 6th in New York. It was like the hottest day ever. We're actually about to have our 12th wedding anniversary. Woo! Yeah, which means I think we've been married 75 years, so I expect diamonds from everybody on July 6th. That's all I'm saying. Thank you so much. Yeah. What?
You said January, and we were both very confused why it would be hot in New York.
It was July 6th. Did I say January? I'm an elder gay and recently called elderly. So you didn't say elderly. Thank you so much. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Like, I don't mind being called an elder gay because I'm the oldest, of all the queers. Like, I'm the oldest gay you're gonna meet, I think, because I haven't met any. Like, I've met some old men that are gay, but like they only just came out. Like, I came out a long time ago, so like it's puberty all over again the minute you start your queer side, your queer story. Wherever it starts. Which I want to say I put in the hard work for everybody after me, but I was living in Los Angeles. Or Southern California, and I came out in Laguna Beach. It's where I figured out I was gay. It was the gayest place on the planet in California at the time. No idea how I knew where to go, but I drove, I got in a fight with my family, being a very dramatic 18-year-old. I'm like, I'm gonna jump off a cliff. And, in Laguna Beach, I didn't know. Like a bee to a hive, I just ended up 2 blocks from the gay bar called the Boom Boom Room. Yeah, there was a guy who, I can't remember his name now because I'm old, and he had a song that was called Boom Boom Boom, let's go back to my room. Anyways, I saw him sing that there, which was like too much. It was too gay at the time, but a lot of fun. Yeah, so I sat on this bench and I'm like, life is awful. And this guy drove by like 3 times, so like any good teenager who's, and by the time I was blonde hair, blue-eyed, skinny twink, like I'm not the daddy I was now. So I probably looked 15 or 16, so I'm like, he's like, do you want to go to my house and drink beer and watch a movie? I'm like, of course I do. And I jumped in his car and we had gay sex. Yes. Never had sex before in my life because this girl D in high school said she was going to get, this is probably why I don't drink, she was going to get me drunk and take advantage of me and have sex with me. And I was like, I don't want to have sex with anybody. Like, I didn't know who I wanted to have sex with. Like, Penthouse magazines were fun to read with my uncles who were only 4 years older than me. It wasn't creepy. It wasn't like a 50-year-old uncle. No, we were like brothers. Which I learned some weird things in Penthouse magazines, but anyways. Yeah, so I didn't want to have sex with anybody. So I had sex with Paul. That was a lot of fun, and it was to the album, the song Sweet Dreams Were Made of This. Yeah, Sweet Dreams were made of that. Yeah, absolutely. I walked out of his house and was like, oh, this is it. The whole world aligned, and it was beautiful and wonderful. Yeah. And if you ever listen to the rhythmic song, Love is a Stranger, it starts with Love is a stranger in an open car. He picks you up and drives you far away. Like, that's how gayness started for me. Yeah, it was. But before I started having all this, because after that I'd be like, Paul, I just happened to be in Laguna, you want to fuck me? And he's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, it was so nice. But prior to that, I got bored masturbating. Like, I learned how to masturbate like any good 12-year-old boy does, and then never stopped. Yeah. Learned at my grandmother's house, which means oil Olay lotion really turns me on. Like, if there's any old ladies here wearing it, Watch out, boys. I'm gonna get a little excited. But then I got bored masturbating because I hadn't discovered sex yet. So when I had moved out of my family's house, I tried one time, all the fun things. And some things I read in Penthouse magazine, like some guy in Penthouse wrote in a letter and he'd shoved a hot dog up his ass. I am here to tell you, it's impossible to shove a hot dog up your ass. I'm not saying that 17-year-old me tried it. I'm just saying it doesn't work. It's too flimsy. Yeah. Then I masturbated with mayonnaise and butter, and then raspberry preserves, which sounds dangerous because preserves aren't seedless. Turns out it was very slick. James said I was going to talk about my penis, so I'm bringing it up. Of course I wasn't going to.
I just thought you were going to focus on your butthole instead, so I got surprised.
No, I mean, there's nothing too exciting about my butthole. But I will say this about the raspberry preserves, it did stay very slick when the heat did, but it did scratch the tub. Which I had to explain. I didn't explain it, but suddenly my roommates were like, "What happened to the tub?" I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know. I think I did the same thing I did when I was like a 9-year-old boy, and I burnt some plastic on the heater in our bathroom, and I just made my whole family think it was a ghost. What's that weird smell? I don't know. Like, do I want my dad to beat me with a belt, or do I just tell him the house is haunted? Yeah. So that's exactly what I went with. I'm like, it's haunted. Yeah. Me and my dad were very close. Did we all have fun at Father's Day in the middle of Pride? That seems rude. And my dad doesn't even hate me for being gay. Like, I wish that was the issue. He's just a fucking asshole. Like, why bother? But let's throw it in the middle of Pride. We're celebrating with rainbows and butterflies, and then it's like, oh yeah, my dad's dead to me. Like, I want to be part of the Dead Dad Club, but he's still alive. Like, at what point do I get to join? I mean, I mourned him, kind of. I don't know. I didn't mourn him, I celebrated. Who am I kidding? It was a lot of fun. Because he's married to my stepmom, who prepared me for, she's a narcissist, so she prepared me for narcissistic servitude. I think you call it customer service. Yeah. Oh my God, thank you so much. I think that's fucking hilarious. That was like the first joke I wrote 2 years ago when I was taking the class at Helium. I'm like, and then I worked at McDonald's, like, after her. Yeah. You ever been a 15-year-old, 16-year-old at McDonald's and a manager and you're out of bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits? Holy fuck. And that's back when they were brand new and we had little Lupe in the back hand-making biscuits. I don't know if you know this, McDonald's, I doubt they still do, but we used to hand-make those fucking biscuits, like, yeah. And then one day we were out of biscuits and everyone freaked out. And then I got yelled at by a Russian because we didn't have a burger at 8:30 in the morning. So I fought in the Cold War. Just want everyone to know, it was 1986, 87. I graduated high school in 87, long before Twilight came out, and you were born and reading it. And this old man was so mad because we couldn't get a burger at 8:30 in the morning, and like any good 70-year-old, I yelled at him and said, well, go, because he's like, in Russia, I can get a burger. And I'm like, well, go back to Russia, But I was panicking because I was so busy. I was like running drive-thru and all this stuff, and then that's not customer service nice to like yell someone to go back to their country, right? Don't do that. I mean, maybe in Huntington Beach you do that. I hear it's kind of racist there. But anyways, he was Russian, so, what do you know? It was the 80s. But then the whole crowd started to cheer, like, USA, USA. I'm like, okay, good, I got them. Like, we're good. It ended like an 80s movie, like a good, like Ferris Bueller or Games or something like that. I don't know. Something with Michael J. Fox in it. It was nice. Yeah. What else about my penis? I love it. I self-actualized at a sex club in 1994, the same time that AIDS was peaking. Yeah, I was giving a blowjob, and the guy turned around, doing the best I could, swallowing everything you're supposed to. And the guy turned to the guy behind him and said, that guy was good. And I was like, I've reached the top of my Maslow pyramid. I don't know where to go from here. So I just kept practicing. Yep. And then one time I put the biggest dildo ever in my butthole, since you brought it up. And then my butt said, we're never doing that again. So all those fears my mom had about me and butt sex never happened. She's good. Yeah, because my mother was apparently she was afraid of AIDS. I didn't think about it till later, but she was like, you can't do butt sex, it's unhealthy. But I didn't think about the fact that AIDS was peaking when I was like becoming gay, so maybe that was a concern. My mom and my grandma gave me chocolate boob sucker to suck on, thinking it would make me straight. I need a drink after that. And here's my thing about that. After eating a chocolate boob, would I then go suck a real boob and realize it's not made of chocolate? Like, how is that? How is that gonna help? I don't understand. What'd you say?
False advertising.
Total false advertisement, right? I'd be like, that's not chocolate. Turns out black women wouldn't have chocolate either, right? Yeah, so it didn't work on me. They were gonna get me a hooker too. It was really fun when my grandmother found out I was gay because I was dating someone who lived with me at my grandmother's house. I was 19 living at grandma's house. And he infiltrated my life and started working at Disneyland I worked at Disneyland. And I was outed at Disneyland. So again, I didn't do the hard work for everybody. I was outed at Disneyland. But my grandmother went through our room and found love letters and cum towels, which will be the name of my Netflix special when it comes out. So look for that in like 2036. I don't know how long this is going to take. Yeah. So she found that, and being the good Catholic Irish grandma that she is, she sat us down at a table and was like, what are you doing to the family? I will shoot you dead if you don't stop being gay. Which sounds super traumatic, but you gotta know that I'm my grandmother's favorite child, and there's no fucking way she was gonna shoot me dead. Not a chance. I took this, I didn't take my being outed as a bad thing. I took it as the best way to break up with somebody. Because I would lay in bed at night while Alan was laying next to me and cry, and he'd be like, why are you crying? And I'd be like, don't ever leave me. But really my head was like, how the fuck do I get out of this? I'm like, oh, leave a breadcrumb trail to the cum towels and the love letters. That'll do it. Which I didn't do on purpose. Like, she found out, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the end. But then I was like, oh my god. So she kicked him out of the house, which was great. But when she said she was going to shoot me dead, I was like, oh, Grandma, I'm going to change. Like, being gay is stupid. Dick is awful. Paula will be right there. And then Alan looked at me like, I think he was in another universe. Because he looked at me and he's like, what do you mean you think about changing? You never told me that. And I'm like, read the room, dude. Like, let's get through. Like, do you not know customer service? A lot of lies until you get what you want. Yeah. So she kicked him out, and then he started working at Disney. He was still working at Disneyland, and they told everybody at Disneyland about my psycho grandmother and the demise of our relationship, and him having no place to live and living inside of stairwells at the Disneyland Hotel. And I just watched my gayness spread like wildfire. And then it turned out great. It was fine. Yeah, I had a bunch of allies. Like, there was a few people here and there who, said some things, but then there's like super allies, and I think some of you know who you are. Where like I guess someone had said, I wonder if Sean squeals like a pig when he's getting fucked by his boyfriend. And a friend of mine got so mad. He's like, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass. And I'm like, it's gonna be okay. People have questions. That's kind of funny. Don't worry about it. So then I was working alone with the guy who said it, and his name is Johnny Gooch. What the fuck kind of name is Johnny Gooch? Like, we're gonna beat up Johnny Gooch. And my favorite thing is coming out when it's awkward for the other person, or confronting people quietly when it's awkward. So when I was working with Johnny, we were having a light conversation, and I was like, Johnny, just so you know, I don't squeal like a pig when I'm getting fucked by my boyfriend. Johnny was like, oh shit, you know about that? And I'm like, yeah. But then we had a nice conversation, and it worked out, and I don't know, maybe Johnny became a porn star? I don't know yet. I don't know what happened to him. I don't care. But my point is, I don't know that I have a point, but I'll make a point. Don't be hateful and confrontational with people when they're asking stupid questions, because it doesn't help. Like, they don't listen, they shut down. So, if you learn anything from elder gay Sean, love yourself. And if your friends have a hard time that came out, just out them. It was great for me. Yeah. They'll either kill themselves or hate you, or live on forever. I don't know. Whatever choice you make, I had nothing to do with it. Love you all. My name is Sean Hayes. Thank you so much.
Sean, everybody. Sean, real quick, I want to be sure your dad is dead to you, right?
Yes, but
Like, fuck him.
yes.
Think he's the worst. Okay. What I hope will happen is because, like, generations you typically live longer than generations previous. What I really would love to see happen is that, because you've been out for 36 years, what I would love is for him to die, and then you to live so much longer, like, out than he was alive. Does that make sense? My autistic brain was like, that would be beautiful justice.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I hope that will happen.
I hope he dies soon so that can happen.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah! If you guys assume that you're clearly gonna make that. Like, I was out longer than you were alive.
Fucker.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
Alright, Tappers, y'all ready for your next comic?